Hello friends, in this video we are going to study the making of global world, third part of this lesson, interwar economy. The First World War was mainly fought in Europe, but its impact was felt around the world. Notably for our concern in this chapter, it plunged the first half of the 20th century into a crisis that took over 3 decades to overcome. During this period, the world experienced widespread economic and political instability and another catastrophic war. Let us see the first topic of this part, wartime transformations. The First World War was fought between two power blocs. Allies countries includes in this are Britain, France, Russia, and the Central Powers Germany, Austria Hungary, Ottoman Turkey. It was the first modern industrial war. The scale of death and destruction was enormous. 9 million people were dead and 20 million people were injured. Most of the killed and maimed were men of working age. During the war, industries were restructured to produce war related goods. Entire societies were also reorganized for war. As men went to battle, women stepped in to undertake jobs that earlier only men were expected to do. The war transformed US from being an international debtor to an international creditor. The US and its citizens own more overseas assets than foreign governments and citizens own in the US. The post war recovery. Post war economic recovery proved difficult. Britain, which was the worst leading economy in the pre war period, in particular, faced a prolonged crisis. After the war, Britain failed to recapture its earlier position of dominance in the Indian market and to compete with Japan internationally. These developments led to huge job losses in 1921. One in every five British workers was out of work. Many agricultural economies were also in crisis. Grain prices fell, rural incomes declined, and farmers fell deeper into debt. Rise of mass production and consumption. One important feature of the US economy of the 1920s was mass production. A well known pioneer of mass production was the car manufacturer Henry Ford. He used assembly line methods to produce faster and cheaper vehicles. The T model Ford was the world's first mass produced car. Mass production lowered costs and prices of engineered goods. The Great Depression. The Great Depression began around 1929 and lasted till the mid 1930s. During this period, most part of the world experienced catastrophic decline in production, employment, incomes, and trade. Agricultural regions and communities got affected badly. Agricultural overproduction was a major problem. When the crisis started, US withdrew the loan which affected the rest of the world. Several banks failed and currencies collapsed. For example, British pound sterling. By 1935, a modest economic recovery was underway in most industrial countries. But the Great Depression, wider effects on society, politics, and international relations and on people's minds proved more enduring. India and the Great Depression. If we look at the impact of the depression on India, we realize how integrated the global economy had become by the early 20th century. The tremors of crisis in one part of the world were quickly related to the other parts, affecting lives, economies, and societies worldwide. India's exports and imports halved between 1928 and 1934, with prices in India fell by 50%. Peasants and farmers suffered more than urban dwellers. Though agricultural prices fell sharply, the colonial government refused to reduce revenue demands. Peasants produced for more for the world market were worst hit. Across India, peasants' indebtedness increased. They use up their savings and mortgage their lands and sold whatever jewelry and precious metals they had to meet their expenses. The depression proved less grim for urban India. Because of falling prices, those with fixed incomes, such as town dwelling landowners who received rents and middle class salaried employees, now found themselves better off. Everything costs less. Industrial investments also grew as the government extended tariff protection to industries under the pressure of nationalist opinion. Rebuilding a world economy, the post World War era. The Second World War broke out a mere 2 decades after the end of the First World War. It was fought between two powers, Allies and Axis powers. Allies powers were Germany, Japan, and Italy, and Allies powers were Britain, France, Soviet Union, and the US. It continued for 6 years. It was fought in many places, over land, on sea, in the air. Death and destruction was enormous. 60 million people were killed and millions were injured. Two crucial influences shaped post war reconstruction. The first was the US emergence as the dominant economic, political, and military power in the Western world. The second was the dominance of Soviet Union. It had made huge sacrifices to defeat Nazi Germany and transform itself from a backward agricultural country into a world power during the very years when the capitalist world was trapped in the Great Depression. Post war settlement and the Bretton Woods Institution. Economists and politicians drew two key lessons from interwar economic experiences. Number one, an industrial society based on mass production cannot be sustained without mass consumption. But to ensure mass consumption, there was a need for high and stable incomes. Incomes could not be stable if employment was unstable. But market alone could not guarantee full employment, and therefore government would have to step to minimize fluctuation of prices, output and employment. Economic stability could be ensured only through the intervention of government. The second lesson related to a country's economic links with the outside world, that the goal of full employment could only be achieved if governments had power to control flows of goods, capital and labor. So, in order to preserve economic stability and full employment in the industrial world, Bretton Woods institutions were established. International Monetary Fund and the World Bank are referred to as a Bretton Woods institution. The US has an effective right to veto over key decisions of International Monetary Fund and World Bank. Both these institutions commenced financial operation in 1947. This system was based on fixed exchange rate system in which national currencies, for example, the Indian rupee, were pledged to the dollar at a fixed exchange rate, and dollar itself was anchored to a gold at a fixed price of $35 per ounce of gold. Decolonization and independence. After the Second World War, many parts of the world were still under European colonial rule. When these parts became free, they faced many problems such as poverty, lack of resources. Developing countries formed group called Group of 77. They demanded new international economic order. NIEO meant a system that would give them real control over their natural resources, more development, better access for their goods in a developed country's market. End of Bretton Woods and the beginning of globalization. Despite years of stable and rapid growth, not all was well in the post war world. From the 1960s, rising cost of the overseas involvement weakened the US finance and competitive strength. The US dollar now no longer commanded confidence as the world's principal currency. Hence, Bretton Woods ultimately ended and globalization began. This led to the collapse of the system of fixed exchange rates and the introduction of system of floating exchange rate. MNCs are large companies that operate in several countries. The worldwide spread of MNC was notable feature of 1950s and 60s. The relocation of industry to low-wage countries stimulated world trade and capital flows. Thank you, students.